So I actually don't know why I've never talked about this before. My very first video on this channel was a story from my camp days, and I honestly hate this video. But besides that, I did say that I did want to talk about more stuff from that camp and from the other years that I went. And I still intend to do that. And so that's what brings us here. This happened the same year as the first video. We were just hanging out in the cabin before the girls had to head back to their own, and we were watching a movie that Gray from the last video picked out, and we all thought it was Buns. Whilst another person, I'm gonna call Leia, was complaining about not having a seat, and everyone was telling her to share a seat with me. However, I was already spread out, so I really didn't want to do that. But while that was happening, we heard a loud bang from one of the other rooms, and then we heard the kids playing D&D screaming. However, it was unrelated, so it did kind of annoy us, and then we went back to go watching the movie. So the night continued as nothing happened. I decided to help out with the dishes once the girls left, and then I went to bed. I tried to fall asleep before Gray could start snoring really loud, but that's when we heard it again. We got up and looked out the window, and that's when we saw an entire wall of hair. We were really confused because keep in mind that the windows were fairly small, so we couldn't even see the whole thing. But then it started moving, and that's when we realized it was a bear. This thing freaked us out, and we really didn't know what to do. One of the kids said that we shouldn't be so loud, and that we need to make sure that the bear couldn't hear us. Though I am very positive that it could, because our counselor came in a few minutes later and started screaming at us, telling us why we were still up. We pointed out the window and showed her that the bear was there, and the counselor was a little lost for words. I didn't really know what to think of it myself, to be honest. I've never really seen a bear up close and personal like this before, so it was a little intimidating, but also kind of cool. The counselor ended up telling us to go to bed, which it was a little hard to do, especially since there's a literal bear outside. Later that morning, we got up and we went to go check on the outside to make sure the bear didn't do anything, and sure enough, the bear actually got into all of our trash. What was really strange about the bear coming here is that we live in a fairly open field. I mean, sure, there was a forest surrounding us, but I didn't think a bear would be able to walk out here and just check out whatever's going on. I ended up forgetting about the story a little bit because, I didn't really think much of it. But there's probably an alternate reality out there where this ended up being the first video. Now, why am I talking about this so late? Well, to be honest, I kind of forgot about it until a few weeks ago when my family caught a bear on the Ring camera. It was about middle-sized. I'd say maybe the size of a bicycle. I don't know. It was a little hard to tell, but that just kind of made me remember about this time, and I thought it was pretty fun.
So, are you as excited as I am?